Hey guys, it's Kaz here, aka Cats and Camera, and today I'm doing my February wrap up. In February I participated in Emojiathon, so I'll link my video down below to my TBR. Most of these books are from that TBR, so if you want to check that out first, then the video's in the description below. First up, I read A Secret Edge by Robin Riordan. This is about our main character Jason, who is a runner. He does long distance and short sprints, stuff like that, and this is basically a coming of age contemporary book, so it's about him dealing with his sexuality. I thought this book was okay. I think the romance aspect of this happened way too quickly. It's like him and Raj, they saw each other like twice, it felt like, and then all of a sudden they were making out. So I definitely think the romance aspect of this was really fast. I also thought it was quite, I don't know if unhealthy is the right word, but it seemed like they got too intense too quickly. I also don't think this portrayed Indians or the Indian culture very well. There was a lot of stereotypical things about Raj, like smelling Indian, his house smelling Indian, and it just felt a little bit maybe obnoxious about the culture. They didn't really explain very much of it. There was also a part of this where Raj was annoyed. It was quite a stuck-up character anyway, and one of the other characters said that it's normal for something along the lines of it's normal because in India they have servants, so they treat people like servants, or something like along the lines of that, and I was like, really? This book came out 10 years ago, it came out in 2007. I do have another of this author's books, so hopefully I enjoy that one a bit better. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars. It was okay, but there were some things that I was kind of a bit iffy about. Next up, I read Kingsman, The Secret Service. This is by Mark Millar, Dave Gibbons and Matthew Vaughn. I've seen the film previously of this, so it was kind of cool to check this out to see what the differences were, what the similarities were. And I did enjoy this. It's funny how the front cover is the movie version, when in here this character is a male and this character is like a 20-year-old white guy. I did enjoy this. There's a lot more of the celebrity aspect of it. I haven't even said what it's about if you've not seen it. Basically, this is about Eggsy, who is a bit of a delinquent, a bit of a chav. If you're English, you'll know what that means. But yeah, a little bit life going nowhere, deadbeat, and his uncle comes and helps him, and he finds out that, as you can guess by the word Secret Service, that he's in the government Secret Service. So Eggsy manages to get on the programme, and then there's the big plot point about celebrities being captured and trying to figure out why and who by. So it was good in here because they could obviously write more of the celebrities and stuff happening to them. Obviously in a film you'd have to get actual people to be able to play it. Here's the sort of artwork in here. This is the sort of thing I like. I've said it before. I like nice colours, bold lines, kind of modern-ish. I don't know what the technical words are for artwork in comics and graphic novels, but that's the sort of thing I like anyway. I give it 4 stars. I don't know if I would have enjoyed it more if I didn't already know the storyline, I'm not sure, but yeah, I enjoyed it anyway. Next up, I read A Quater Mr and Fury by Sarah J Maas. I enjoyed this more than the first one because it wasn't so romance heavy. There was a lot more action and a lot more character development. I really like the new characters we were introduced to, like Cassian and Azriel and more, and we get to see a lot more of Rhysand, who we saw in the first book, and I'm glad that this doesn't have as much Tamlin in. I know a lot of people liked him in the first book, but I didn't really like him in the first book, and in the second book a lot of it takes place away from him, so I'm glad not to have him. I did feel like they kind of ruined Lucian a little bit. Obviously I'm not going to say anything about why or how, but I enjoyed his character in the first one. In the second one he just seemed kind of out of character, so I hope the third one will give justice to him a bit. But also, I really didn't like the fact, right at the end, I'm not going to say who or what happens, but 2 of the characters find out that they're mates, and I absolutely was like, eye roll. It was so unnecessary. Why do people have to like pair off every single character? it just seemed so unnecessary, so silly and so pointless. Like, oh, you're my mate. No, why? I really didn't like that. That was annoying. But the rest of the book I enjoyed. And for people that don't know, this is a series about fairies. It follows our main character, Feyre, who in the first book accidentally kills a fairy, and then because of that she has to go and live in the fairy realm, and then a lot of stuff happens, and then this is the second book. Obviously I don't want to say too much about it, but yeah, I enjoyed this more than the first one. But yeah, again, I gave this 4 stars. So I don't very often give out 5 stars. I don't know why, I just feel like it has to really impact me, or I needed to fly through it, or it has to be really something special to give 5 stars out. So 4 stars is very good for me. Next up, I read Forgive Me Leonard Peacock by Matthew Quick, and I really thought I was going to like this book. I thought the synopsis sounded really interesting. It's about Leonard Peacock, obviously. He's just turning 18. He wants to say goodbye to his 4 friends because he's had enough with life and he kind of wants to end it. And I thought it would be really harrowing, really moving. But I actually find this pretty boring. For like the first half of the book, it just felt like filler. I really found all the bits with Lauren, who is one of the characters that he's saying goodbye to, were so pointless and boring, and I just didn't enjoy that at all. It just felt really flat. I didn't feel any emotion from the character until kind of like the last bit, but even then I didn't like the ending either. And also a thing that really irritated me was the footnotes. Let me just find like a really horrific one. I don't know if you can see, but all of this is a footnote. So there'll be a little 4 here, and that's the footnote. How are you meant to read that? I didn't know whether to stop at every number and then read the footnote, or finish the whole page and then go back and read the footnote. But either way, it just totally took me out of the story, and it just felt really disjointed because a lot of them felt so pointless or too long. It wasn't a footnote because it was too long, it should have just been in the story. But it definitely took me out of the characters and the story that I wasn't really that invested in the first place. And some of them were so long, they'd go on to the next page, turn over. So if you were doing it, stopping at the footnotes, you'd have to go to the bottom, read a footnote, turn the page, finish reading that footnote, turn back the page and then finish it. I really didn't like the footnotes. I hated it. It just made the story so much more annoying. And then there's random chapters where it's like letters from the future, and that felt really out of place. Halfway through the book or some point through the book you find out what that's all about, but I feel like A, it's brought in too late, the reason behind it, so you're reading it and you're just like, what even is this and what's the point? And B, it just didn't feel like the reason behind it helped. Maybe right at the end, but it just felt really weird anyway. I originally gave this 3 stars, but I'm going to put it down to 2 because, like I say, I don't really give out 5 stars. I give out loads of 4 ones, and then 3 is books that I've enjoyed but were kind of like, it was okay. But this really, there's a lot of things that I didn't like about it, so yeah, it's 2 stars now. And then after that, next up, I read The Taste of Cashews by Will Hartzell-Baird. I have a review on this, so I'll leave the link below. It's a non-spoiler review, so you can check that out. But this is a science fiction, sort of futuristic, satirical, dystopian. There's a lot of words going on here, but yeah, if you check out my review, it'll be easier to follow what's going on. But it's kind of funny because when I started reading this, let me just pop in here. I found out it has footnotes, and this is like a few pages in, and when I saw this I was like, oh no, I'm gonna hate this book so much. I hate footnotes, but it works in here. I genuinely thought I just hated footnotes, so it was something that I couldn't work with, but I just can't work with ones that aren't done very well, like Forgive Me Leonard Peacock. But in this, because it's set a few hundred years in the future, the footnotes actually do add elements to the story. There'll be something that happens, or something someone says, or an incident that happened a few hundred years ago or 100 years ago, and then the footnote will just explain what it's about. And yeah, it definitely worked in this one. This is an indie author as well. This is independently released, so it's definitely good to check out smaller known authors rather than just the massive ones like Sarah J Maas. And yeah, check out my review below. I give this one 4 stars as well. Last but not least, I read Out of the Pocket by Bill Konigsberg. This is the author of Openly Straight, so I'm sure more people have heard of that book than this one. So I wanted to check out some of his other work, and this one, like a lot of contemporary coming of age books, is about our main character Bobby, and surprise surprise, he plays football. They always play sport, but authors obviously want to show that manly men can also be gay. But yeah, I did enjoy this book. I like the fact that it was more about him coming to terms with himself. It was about football and everything there. It was about his family, his friends. And there was only a small bit of romance in here, so it was good that it didn't just overshadow the whole book like a lot of coming of age books do. And I think I gave this a 4 stars. It's hard on Goodreads anyway, about half stars. Probably be like a 3.5, but I think I gave it a 4 stars on Goodreads. I can't remember. But it was enjoyable. Like I say, I like the fact that the romance wasn't the main part of it, and everything came together well. There was nice little plot points in the story that helped to move the story along. I enjoyed this one. So those are all the things I managed to read in February. I'm actually kind of surprised and glad because 2 weeks in I'd only read 1 book, and that was the first one, A Secret Edge, because I was ill for the first part of February. So I'm pretty proud of myself for being able to get through this many in the shortest month, and a month where I was ill for the first half of it. So if you've read any of these books, then comment below and tell me what you thought of them. I know a lot of people seem to be having Forgive Me Land of Peacock in their TBRs and in their hauls kind of recently over the past few months. So tell me what you thought about that book. Did you enjoy it? Did you think it kind of fell short about what your expectations were? Or if you didn't read any of these books, what did you read in February? I know it's halfway through March now, but hey, we can still talk about what we read in the past. So yeah, if you like this video and want to see more of what I've got to offer, then please subscribe and like this video. Comments are also appreciated, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you in a few days. Bye.